Colorado will retire Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders' jersey at the spring game this Saturday. Alabama apparently names the starting quarterback, and a Braves reporter does something that we have never seen before. All that and more on the Wednesday edition. Crain and Cover. Colorado football has announced they will be retiring the number 12 and number 2 jersey of Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders during their spring game coming up this Saturday. Now, I get there's some people that don't understand why you would retire either one of these guys' jerseys or really what it takes to retire a jersey, or as Colorado football put it, now those numbers are untouchable, which seems to say that nobody can ever wear the number 2 or 12 again. But at the end of the day, guys, where I fall on it is it's their program, it's their party, they can cry if they want to. Travis Hunter won the Heisman, right? I can understand why you'd retire a guy's jersey that won the Heisman. That makes sense to me. The Shedeur Sanders one, I know he holds records. I know he was huge in helping turn this program, making them relevant once again. But did he do enough outside of just being Deion Sanders' son, especially when you compare it to what Travis Hunter did, winning the Heisman, to have his jersey number retired as well? Cone, where do you stand on this? Because it seems you're either in one of two camps. This is awesome, they deserve it, or this is the dumbest thing you've ever heard. But to me, I get the Travis Hunter one. The Shedeur Sanders one just makes it feel like, you know, he wanted to make sure his son got some accolades too. That's what it feels like.
Well, silly me for thinking that the Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter saga at Colorado was over and we could actually start talking about them in the NFL draft. But look, both of them are incredible football players. Both of them deserve a ton of accolades. This story specifically, I find clownish for 3 main reasons. One of them is the timing of it. We're only 3 months removed from the season, and in 2 weeks, you're getting drafted into the NFL. To me, when you get your number retired, that's something that happens 10 years down the road, 12 years, 15 years down the road. So you have a family, you come back, you get to enjoy that moment and be celebrated. We're just sandwiching this in right between getting drafted in the NFL and the season ended for 2 guys who, honestly, let's be honest, in 2 years had a 13-12 record at Colorado. You could say they turned things around, but that's the record. Now, Travis Hunter did win the Heisman. You know, this gets me to my second point, though. Jersey retirement is different than number retirement. Look, if you want to put the number 2 up there with Sanders on the back in the rafters, and that's your jersey and you got retired, that to me is different than no one can ever wear that number again. Like, that's a thing that should take 10, 15, 20 years if you retire someone's number permanently, or God forbid, someone passes away, you have a Pat Tillman situation or something like that. No one can ever wear that number again. And that sort of gets me to the final point, which is Kordell Stewart. Kordell Stewart is one of the greatest quarterbacks in the history of Colorado football. Let me read off a couple things here. 8,500 total yards at Colorado in an offense that was primarily option-oriented when he was playing, led Colorado to a pair of top 10 finishes and bowl wins, back-to-back years. All-American, finished with an 11-1 record at Colorado in 1994. He doesn't have his jersey retired. He doesn't have his number retired. The number 10 you can still wear at Colorado. I don't see Deion Sanders rushing out to retire the number 10 because of Kordell Stewart's greatness, not just at Colorado, but also what he did in the NFL. That's why I think Deion's a daddy coach. People get mad at me when I say that. I don't necessarily mean it as a criticism. I mean, we should have more fathers who are invested with their sons and coaching them at the highest levels of football. I think that part of it's pretty awesome. And one guy did win the Heisman Trophy, but man, no one can ever wear those numbers again right this second.
Isn't this such a Deion Sanders thing to do, though? It's out of the norm. Yeah. It's uncommon. He always has to be different than with everything he does. Like, this has Deion Sanders written all over it.
Well, it's like, I get what you're saying. I get the gist of what you're saying. But to me, the Travis Hunter one makes sense. Even the timing. I get that a lot of times, I mean, Cam Newton's jersey number in retired at Auburn. I know you got a list you're going to go through, but to me, okay, you won the Heisman Trophy. That's a huge deal. Overall records should matter, but 13-12, I mean, you look at what they were before he got there, it was an absolute disaster. But the Travis Hunter one, I can get. I can even understand retiring that jersey number. So you know what? This guy won the Heisman. He played both ways. He was an incredible lightning rod for PR and attention. Obviously, that's with Deion Sanders being there and Shedeur and even Shiloh. It's the Shedeur Sanders one I'm not getting. That's the one that makes it feel inorganic to me, I guess would be the best way to put it. That you felt like you had to do this so you can make sure and give your son some love, which he's already going to be a first-round draft pick. I don't think some team's going to be like, hey, let's move up and get him now that his jersey's retired at Colorado. But Travis Hunter, I 100% get, even if the timing seems a little bit sudden.
And you got to remember, Travis won a lot of Walter Camp Award, the Bednarik, the Blitnikoff, and the Lott.
Someone wins those every year.
Exactly.
Someone wins those awards
I was just adding on what he...
At the University of Florida, right now, a football player can wear the number 15.
Yeah.
And Tim Tebow is one of the most historic football players that I've ever seen in college football. You
Graham Mertz wearing 22. Right now, if you want the legends in college football whose numbers aren't retired, Tim Tebow.
Mm-hmm.
Baker Mayfield,
mm-hmm.
Deshaun Watson,
mm-hmm.
Joe Burrow,
mm-hmm.
Trevor Lawrence, Adrian Peterson, Cameron Newton, Johnny Manziel, Marcus Mariota, and Christian McCaffrey.
And those are the best of the best of the best.
And they won a lot and at a really high level. You remember how much Stanford was cooking when they had McCaffrey, and then you go back through Gerhardt and all that stuff. The two parts I really can't reconcile with. One, I mentioned the Shedeur Sanders being treated just like Travis Hunter after really not winning anything other than the PR battle of flipping the program around.
Well, Cordell Stewart won 11-1. That's what I'm saying.
I was like,
well, they won one game the year before, so that means we're allowed to go 500 over 2 seasons. Cordell Stewart was a top 10 in the country.
Agree with, and had one of the greatest moments in college football history with a Hail Mary, too.
Yeah.
Against who was that against?
Which at that time, that was way before I went to Michigan. I thought it was awesome. So now not so much.
But the other part is that now nobody can wear those jerseys. And that's what they said. Again, if I'm wrong, y'all can correct me in the comments forever. But they said literally...
the official Colorado Post said number 2 and number 12 officially untouchable. How am I supposed to take that statement to mean anything other than the number is retired and not just the jersey?
See, that's too... Like you said, put their names up in the rafters.
Put them up there.
That's great. But that list that you rattled off, and I get, like I said at the beginning, it's their party. They can cry if they want to. They didn't want salmon. They said it like 5 times. I understand that. But that still doesn't mean we can't criticize it and think, man, this may be a bridge too far. Is this the last that we've heard, though, about the Travis Hunter, Shedeur?
No, like I just said. Silly as anytime you think it's done, it's not done. I'm thinking Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson just got in the Cowboys Ring of Honor. And he won 3 Super Bowls there, or 2 at least.
So Shedeur at Colorado was a 2024 Johnny Unitas Golden Arm.
He was a great player.
Named Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year. He set over 100 school records, including career passing touchdowns, passer rating, and completion percentage. Completed 72% of his passes, 63-64 yards, 64 touchdowns over 2 seasons, and holds the NCAA Division I record for touchdown passes in consecutive games at 49.
That's great. It's a great career. That doesn't mean you should have your number and jersey retired. Now, if you won the national title, or Colorado went to the college football playoff and won a couple games, and you won the Big 12 and stuff like that.
Still, you do that in April?
Still,
Tim Tebow doesn't have his jersey retired.
I get it, Cone. I get it. It just...
Here's the question. Here's the real question to put it to the test. Let's say Deion Sanders stays there. Right? He's going to coach there this next season, and he gets another Travis Hunter type player coming out, 5-star, best in the country, wants to go to Colorado, but he's worn number 2 his whole life. Coach, look, man, I'm only going to a school where I can wear number 2.
Maybe 12, not 2.
Is that number available or is it not available?
I think Deion would make it available.
I don't think
I think they would...
says all you need to know.
No, and here's what they would do, and I think it's smart. They would put on social media the call between the player or Deion and Travis Hunter, and he's going to be like, you know what, man? Keep the tradition going. It's all yours.
Then it's not retired. Then your number's not really retired.
David, see, again.
Your number's not really... It's like a Tom Brady situation. If you come back the next year and play for the Bucs, you weren't retired.
Nobody's wearing 2 again at Colorado.
I don't know. I feel like if the player was that good, was good enough for it to do it, I could see a way where they could finagle it through. But we want to know what you think in the comments, in the chat as well. But let's face it. All right. Nobody likes being bugged, especially by, bugs.
IRS. Oh.
I'm not talking about like a government entity. Nobody likes being bugged like that either. But when those unwanted visitors do show up, you want them gone fast, right? You want them out of there. That's where Pestie comes in with their do-it-yourself pest control solution. You can protect your home easily and at just a quarter of what you normally pay. I mean, think about it. Other pest control companies charge over $800 per year for basically the same service.
Dang.
But with Pestie, you can get started at just $35 per treatment, man. Ooh. Plus, they create a customized plan specifically for your location, the bugs in your area, and your local climate. But the best part? Everything you need comes in one simple kit delivered right to your door. No hassle, no complicated instructions, just effective pest control on your terms. We have one in here. Haven't seen a bug yet. Haven't seen one yet. Plus, Pestie effectively eliminates over 100 types of bugs, from spiders and ants to roaches and scorpions, while remaining completely kid and pet friendly, using only fully registered pesticides that have been safely used in hospitals and schools across the nation. So protect your home from bugs with Pestie. Go to pestie.com/Crain for an extra 10% off your order. That's PESTIE.com/CRAIN for an extra 10% off. Great ad? Got it. All right, fellas. Next up on the docket, some big news coming out from Tuscaloosa, at least according to offensive coordinator Ryan Grubb. Now, they haven't officially come out and said that Ty Simpson is going to be the starter, but he told reporters that if there was a game tomorrow, Ty Simpson would start at quarterback. David, like, at this point, why would you not just come out and say he's the starter then? I mean, we have
if there was a football game tomorrow, Jay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, why are we waiting? Like it's unless if he does something crazy during the summer, you lose the job anyway. You want to go into fall camp with a starter. I don't think he's going to compete even less. What do you think about Ty Simpson being named the starter? Is there a comparison? Because I got one in my mind to a player after watching him. What do you think for Alabama?
Here's my immediate thoughts in the aftermath of their spring game and the discussion we had on whether or not the quarterback who came with Coach DeBoer and Ryan Grubb from Washington to Tuscaloosa, if he would get some sort of favorable treatment because that's their guy, right? And I just said, hey, like, this is high-level college football. This is the highest-level college football. Those guys are going to start the best quarterback. I don't know if that's going to be Ty Simpson at the end of the day. And remember, fall camp is going to determine the starting quarterback for a program much more than spring practice will. So we still have all of that to go, plus we have summer workouts and all that. But in the aftermath of this whole Nico Iamaleava situation and all these guys, and every five-star in that class we talked about has transferred except for Arch Manning at Texas. I look at a guy like Ty Simpson who sat behind Jalen Monroe, who was biding his time. Clearly he has talent. He was a five-star quarterback coming out as well, right? He's bided his time and he's sitting there and he's ready. He said, this is my time to be the starting quarterback at Alabama. Clearly, he showed them something throughout spring practice and in the spring game this past weekend. So, look, I'm pulling for the kid, and I think that Coach DeBoer is going to start the best possible player to play quarterback at Alabama.
Blaine, it seems like Ty Simpson went out and took it, as we mentioned when we did our kind of preview of these spring quarterback battles, which there's a bunch across the country at some big-time brands. When I look at Ty Simpson, his gameplay and his style reminds me a little bit of John Parker Wilson. When I watch him.
He's a better runner, though.
I mean, I think John Parker was a little bit of an underrated runner with the ball. Like, he wasn't great or super elite. I don't think Ty's an elite runner of the ball. He's not close to what McIlroy was when he was operating from an efficient level running the ball. But he's a good decision maker, right? It looks like he can throw to every single level. And he went out and took the job. But my part about naming the starter now is if you were still going to have this battle going on in fall camp, why not just come out and say, hey, look, it was great competition between both guys. They're still neck and neck. Fall camp's going to decide it. Ryan Grubb looked like pretty sure that Ty Simpson was the guy. For him to come out and say
do you think any of this has to do with Nico? Just kind of coming out and saying, well, he'd be our starter tomorrow just to make sure, like, look, you're our guy. We know this. We don't want anything bad to happen.
No,
you saw that around the nation.
No.
Quarterbacks got cuffed for
because
a
of what Cone said. He's bided his time so long for this moment, this opportunity. I don't think he would jump ship at this point. Now, I just think Ryan Grubb told the truth.
But what about the other guys? Saying this could trigger them to transfer.
Austin Mack.
Well, that was the first question I had with this Nico situation was, everybody's talking about, all these starting quarterbacks around the country made money. Well, to me, I think a lot of the backup quarterbacks around the country made money, and some of the young guys as well. Look just at Alabama. Look at Keelan Russell. What happened if Tennessee would have called and said, hey, you want to start at quarterback as a true freshman at Tennessee? You're not going to have to wait behind Ty Simpson. You're not going to have to be third behind Austin Mack, who's in second. I was wondering if there was one of these young up and coming players that wasn't going to start this year that Tennessee would have found a way to reach out to and say, why don't you come over here? So I thought it was more about the backups than anything.
Well, I would say this. I think Ty Simpson is the fit that Ryan Grubb and Kalen DeBoer want. I mean, he's a pro-style guy. He kind of, to be honest with you, if I had to come to a comp for Ty Simpson, I would say Matt Corral. I mean,
you think he's at like?
I mean, I think he's not a dual threat quarterback, but I do think he can extend plays with his feet. You saw it a little bit in garbage time. I think against Mercer, he has a live arm. He's 6'1", 6'2", 200 pounds. He's not a true runner, but it's something that you do have to respect a little bit if you're in the backfield. They both have live arms. He can absolutely sling the football, but he's a pro-style guy. And you go through the quarterbacks that Ryan Grubb and Kalen DeBoer have. They want a pro-style quarterback, not a Jalen Milroe. So I think Ty Simpson's a great fit for them. He's a 5-star coming out of high school, and he's only gotten better, and he's waited for his time. So I think it's good for Ryan Grubb and Kalen DeBoer to at least have a pretty good idea who their starter will be walking into the season.
Yeah, I was just interested that he came out and said it. But look, I mean, Alabama's going to be good. They're with the talent. I know Saban's gone. I'm very interested to see how the offensive line progresses. But Ryan Grubb was the biggest commitment that Kalen DeBoer has gotten at Alabama. I think he's going to make a huge difference, not just from a play calling standpoint, but developing these quarterbacks. He's one of the best in the country at it. But, Coney, what else do we got?
Next up, let's talk about Lane Kiffin, who went on Theo Von's show and was talking about Brian Kelly.
Let's play this.
Well, Brian Kelly, they also put him on that Lazy Susan. Remember when he first came in? It's like, and it's a tough.
I retweeted that.
You what?
I retweeted that. Like
we know,
thing. Yeah, he was with the quarter. It was
Look
terrible.
at that. I thought this was for a strip club, to be honest with you. I thought this was for.
Yeah, I think I wrote something like, "Do you actually know they're filming you? Like, did you put this out on purpose? Like you." You know they're going to film you when you're doing this?
I thought this was a gender reveal, and I was like, well, what is it?
Yeah, and it's not like his first one. He did it like the year before. I'm like, do you realize you're like kind of grinding on the dude?
This was also a strip club advertisement near Natchez, Mississippi, I think, as well. No judgment outside of there. I've spent time there, but yeah, maybe Brian Kelly is kind of mysterious. I think also maybe it's just because he's had he coached in the SEC before or not?
No, I don't think so.
And he's a nice guy.
You're like at Notre Dame. Like,
right.
You're at Notre Dame and then you're like LSU.
I know.
I mean,
you went from heaven to.
Yeah, that's just like, that's as big a change as you can have. South Bend to Baton Rouge. Like,
oh, yeah.
And the SEC. And so.
Yeah. So Lane Kiffin gives no Fs at the end of the day. But to me, he's right. Listen, and we got a ton of respect for Brian Kelly and LSU. We have a bunch of LSU fans that watch this show as well, especially during college football season. But this is why, on the sideline, you have a get-back coach, right? You got the guys that, coach, you're too far out in the field. Let me pull you back. Sometimes it's the strength guy. You need that in the office, too.
Mm-hmm.
You need a don't post that coach. Somebody that's just going to keep it real with you in the staff meeting. Like, hey, guys, I want to put this out. He's like, Coach, listen, you're the head man. You can do what you want to do, but I'm just going to be real with you. You don't need to post.
Be real with them, son.
Be real with them. Like, you don't need to post this.
Do you think that happened? Do you think someone tried that with Brian Kelly in this situation?
No, I think they're horrified of Brian Kelly.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I think they're horrified.
I'm scared to say anything, so we're just going to let it go.
Like, but you got to have that guy. Like, if you're an older coach that has to do social media, like, I'll be honest with you, like, make fun of Bill Belichick all you want, but that chick's making sure whatever he puts out on social media, like, it's cool with the kids and not cringy or a little bit weird. Because I know Brian Kelly was.
But isn't that that's the cringy part?
See,
her doing all this stuff is the
if she was doing
part.
that on a recruit, I'd be fine with it. Hell,
I heard she's calling plays this fall.
Well, that's a different story. We'll see. I mean, he let Matt Patricia be the offense coordinator anyway.
Exactly.
No, but like, I know Brian Kelly in his heart of hearts was trying to be cool. Trying to be, what does Dr. Evil say? I'm hip. I'm with it. But at some point, it's like when your kids, have you seen the commercial where the dad's speaking in like the kid's language? And he's like, hey, let me cook or whatever. And they're like, please stop talking like that. Somebody needed to tell Brian Kelly that, because I get what you're trying to do. The execution, though, was just...
Brian Kelly and Lane Kiffin hate each other.
Yeah, I think they do.
Like, it feels like there's some hate there.
Did Lane say
it really does? Because I think about this. I think about this, and in my head, it immediately goes, I wonder what Brian Kelly's reaction to this is. Because at the end of the day, you can sit on whatever podcast you want, talk all the ish you want, but I mean, who has a better head-to-head overall record?
Yeah.
Who does?
That's Brian Kelly.
Yeah.
So you can sit on a podcast, talk all you want, but I look at that win and loss column, and I got more wins than you do, buddy. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if I'm grinding on dudes or whatever. If Nick Saban grinding on dudes won 7 national championships, who gives a shit?
How about Saturday, September 27th, boys? LSU
At Ole Miss, right?
at Ole Miss.
Ooh. See, I don't think Lane says that if they're not playing at home this year. If that game's in Baton Rouge,
I think Lane Kiffin will say anything.
like
Home, away, abroad.
But I really want to start a thing, the get back coach off the field. You need one. You need one. There's some guys that need it bad too when it comes to social media and all that stuff. But very, very interesting times on the Theo Vaughn Show.
All right, next one up here. I want to talk about this Braves reporter who was getting the girl's phone number. And can we just all watch it together?
Yeah.
I just need to see this all the way through with you guys.
We're having a lot of fun up here up the Corona rooftop. Who do we got here? What's your name?
My name's Lauren.
Lawrence, all right.
And I'm Kayla.
Kayla, and you guys hang out at the rooftop lounge often?
Once a year I come out to visit.
Okay, well, we timed it pretty well. All right, good. How are you guys feeling about rooting for the Braves today?
Oof, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm hoping for the best.
Feel that, sister.
There you have it.
Are you
You're up
Braves fan
4-0.
now?
Not quite.
Not quite. All right, I'm gonna go to work up here, guys. Good luck the rest of the way.
Okay, Wiley. You got 4 innings to get the numbers.
I'm on it. I'm on it.
So they told
More
it.
Braves fans.
All right, so they want me to get your number.
They want you to get my
I'm dead serious. They're saying in my ear right now. She doesn't believe me because she thinks you guys are not. I'm making this up. Even if you guys weren't, I might use that in the future. That's actually a pretty good move.
This is unbelievable.
So the best part of this right now is that Wiley could totally be faking it. This might be the new move. Just walk around with a FanDuel microphone and an earpiece in and convince fans that they're actually on TV.
He might
I
be
should've
onto
thought of this
something.
years ago.
And he got it.
And he's getting it.
That should be a stadium giveaway now.
I
The
got the number.
FanDuel
We're
mic.
good.
Okay.
People aren't happy about this, Jake. People are not happy. They're very angry.
I saw so many female reporters on social media just blasting this guy. And I think we have
there's one.
some of
Danny
them
Surek.
here. So Danny Surek. So are we still going to ask women in sports if they're only doing their job to date athletes? We can all agree how inappropriate and nasty this is, not to mention the double standard.
That sounds personal.
Right?
That sounds personal, right
Is that
there.
girl an athlete?
No.
The reporter, right? Oh, yeah, that's what question I had, too. Is she
She an
someone
athlete?
famous or
What
she
is
at a
what
Braves
is
game?
what is she talking about?
To me, first off, baseball is 9 innings, and it's very slow. Look at Chris Button here real quick. If a female reporter ever tried this little bit, that'd be the last job she'd ever have.
False.
I actually think she would probably get more views.
These people are the worst.
No, well, look, I understand that there is a part of professionalism that goes in to being a sports journalist, reporter, whatever. But to me, I don't think that girl, if you see her reaction, I don't think that girl felt pressured or harassed. This guy wasn't walking around grabbing girls and just like out of nowhere, just taking them and making them give them their phone number. It was like a shtick that grew legs as it was going. The guys asked him to do it, and it was a funny clip. Like, would you be pissed if a girl reporter was like, hey, I'm here with this guy here. I mean, give me your phone number.
Would I be pissed?
Yeah, would you be like, this is so
That's why I went to sporting events for years.
Yeah,
That
well,
would
it's like,
happen.
how does anybody ever get together?
The Braves need all they can get right now, first of all. Second of all, not only was I not offended by this, I was just wondering, like, are the people who are actually offended, are they actually offended, or do they feel the need to, like, be offended for social justice or something? And I was trying to think, like, am I supposed to be more mad at this? Because I'm really not. Then I saw Olivia Decker post this, and she's obviously a sports reporter as well. She said, people getting mad about the Braves reporter asking for the girl's phone number are insane. Haha, how does that offend you? It was innocuous and cute. Good TV, I'd say. It doesn't detract from the game or season. Lighten up.
Absolutely.
But funny enough, Olivia Decker, she did marry a professional basketball player. So that's kind of a funny part of that one. But I still agree with what she's saying.
Is that Sam Decker's wife?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice, Sam. Nice.
Yeah.
No,
Great
this
job
is-
on
This
innocuous.
is harmless to me.
Well done.
You know what I
Great
find
job reading.
interesting, though?
What?
Like, what if you put it in another lens? Would any of these people come out and say, what if it was a dude asking for another dude's number?
Well, it's like,
what would they say? Nobody would say, none of those chicks would say a word. They'd probably come in like, this is so inclusive and progressive.
We're headed in the
Now you're
right
trying to
way in
piss me off.
society. No, that's a valid point.
No, like if those were two dudes or two lesbians or whatever, right? What were thespians? Is that what?
Apparently, that's when you can like see into the
you
future.
can move things with your hands.
Yeah, something like this, like Matilda. No, like I really wonder if they would have said anything. I think this is more of, I mean, you have sports reporters, you have ladies in sports that put bets out on social media while their rack's in the picture.
Walking back.
And listen, let's be honest. I don't think Joy Taylor was exactly doing it for the love of journalism. Where were y'all with the Joy Taylor stuff? That's what I want to see.
Now, if that guy was married, of course.
Of course.
Yeah, like now you change the circumstance. But Justine, chime in here on program. You were kind of a sports reporter at one point, right?
You're a chick.
Female. How do you feel about it?
I agree with Olivia Decker completely.
Would you have given this guy your number in that situation?
How tall is he?
He looked pretty
just
tall.
kidding. I would.
This
Yes,
is-
I
This
would.
is why the Giants will never win.
This is a.
That's not the reason, but yeah, I would have given it to him. It's a fun little bit.
She seemed into it. If he was, I mean, he's not holding her at gunpoint.
She was kind of offended that, they want you to get my number?
Yeah.
You don't want my number?
Yeah.
See, that's...
I like
gonna
that.
be
I like
hilarious
that.
kind
if
of got to
they get
backpedal
married.
a little bit.
I'm
But
surprised he went left.
if
not
you're
right.
FanDuel here, though.
Me too.
I'm surprised he went
I'm
left and
surprised
not
he
right.
went left side.
To be honest.
Right side was strong.
I'd go strong side right there. To be honest. That's just me.
Left side is strong side.
Well, not in that
remember the
situation.
type.
But it depends on which.
If you're FanDuel...
What hash are we on?
If you're FanDuel, do you own this? Stadium
Oh, you
giveaway?
own this.
Stadium giveaway with FanDuel mics.
You own
Everyone
this.
has one.
I mean, the next day he was on a Weiner seesaw. I mean, right now, I don't know how you can beat it.
He was on a Weiner seesaw.
A hot dog seesaw. Yeah.
Wow.
It's cute. It's funny. They're playing.
Was that Barrett
They're
Sallee?
playing the right cards right now. And the people complaining, like, how do you think you got here? At some point, your dad asked your mom for a phone number or something, and now you're tweeting. So you're welcome.
Wait, hold on. You lost me at Weiner seesaw.
What are you confused about?
So like it's like a hot dog.
What's confusing about this?
Seesaw?
Yeah.
What don't you understand?
Do you know what a wiener is? You know what a seesaw is?
I know what
Combine
both
them.
of those things.
Welcome to
Wiener?
a Blue Jays game.
Seesaw.
Yeah, welcome to a Blue Jays.
We're getting one for the studio.
The Wiener seesaw.
That's it.
See?
I pulled this
Hold
so
on.
you could get an image.
Hold on. That's at the Brave Stadium?
No, it's at Toronto, right?
What were you saying about this?
The next time we saw him, like that guy who asked for the numbers, he was on the reporter. He was on the Wiener seesaw.
What a reversal.
I just wanted to show you what
I mean, this guy is on a generational run.
I mean, what a great
FanDuel asking the number, getting the number, talking about baseball. Next day, you're on a Wiener seesaw.
Yeah, when he writes his memoirs, they're going to be nuts.
It's like he's on a
this is how
sandals
I met your
retreat.
mother. Then the next day, I was on the Oscar Mayer swing set or whatever this is.
I mean, you're getting numbers and hopping on Wiener seesaw.
You getting on that?
I heard there's one of those
You getting
at
on
Bonnie
that?
Blues
Is
back.
that edible?
Are you getting on that?
In ways that would disturb you.
I believe you, actually.
Oh God! Please, anything else? What do we have? What do you have?
Next one up, Cal running back Jaden Ott, I was going to say has entered the transfer portal, but he has now committed to Oklahoma, right?
Yes.
And Oklahoma is your dark horse to make the college football playoff,
Yes.
right? And they just got better with this addition. Nice get. Congrats.
Every day, it gets a little bit more realistic. And remember, I said this before Jaden Ott. All right, I said this before some other people I've seen started kind of jumping on the Oklahoma bandwagon. And before you say, oh, Jake, you're an Oklahoma homer or an Oklahomer or whatever they call that. I said they were going 6-6 last year, and I don't think I was allowed in the state of Oklahoma. I turned out being right, to be right at the end of the day. So I'm going to call it out, see it. But Jaden Ott, especially after watching Auburn having played Cal the last 2 years, this dude's an NFL back. Now, he's got to stay healthy, but I am so interested to see how he matches up with John Mateer, that RPO offense that they're going to have with the guys they already have at running back. And I think the offensive line's going to be better because, hell, I don't know how they could be much worse. But this is a big pickup for Oklahoma, man.
Oklahoma's slowly turning into a problem. But the big question is like, what's going on at Cal?
I can tell you.
Because not only Jaden Ott, didn't like 4 of their running backs enter the transfer
The Mendoza guy entered the portal, too. Like, Brian Harsin is OC, the poisoner. I'm just, again, he's just going to lift weights and talk about accountability.
He's going to lift weights and talk about that chick from Boise State, right?
Like, no, it's allegedly.
Allegedly.
No, this is Cal's in trouble, man. This guy was your best piece. This was your Ark of the Covenant in the museum. And now you don't have it, and Cal. Boring.
Great get for Oklahoma, man. Terrific running back. All right, let's move on here. I want to talk about the Masters a little bit just to recap since we were in Washington, D.C.
Damn
This
it.
was finishing up. But I want to show the photos that Ken Griffey Jr. took. Did you know Ken Griffey Jr. was at the Masters as a credentialed photographer?
Really?
As a credentialed photographer, and look at some of these photos he took of Rory after winning the Masters. Can we cycle through these?
See what you got, Ken. Ooh, that's me every day before I walk into work. He took a picture of himself?
Well, I don't think he took a selfie, but...
Oh, I thought he took a picture of himself. This is...
Maybe he did take a selfie.
Yeah, okay, first off, I will never doubt that Ken Griffey Jr. isn't great at everything. 300, hit a bunch of home runs, do a Sudoku, and figure out a Rubik's Cube in less than 15 minutes. But what is going on, and I mean this in a good way, with former Mariners superstars that become photographers. Because you know who else did it? Randy Johnson.
Yes.
I'm just ready to see, like, is Jay Buhner next? Right? Is Edgar Martinez next? God, some of those Mariners teams were really good back then. Is Ichiro out here taking pictures in Japan? If you're allowed to or not. Maybe that's China. I don't know. But this just seems like if you're a former Mariner legend, you grab a camera, bro. Let's click it on, take some pics.
I think this is awesome. I had forgotten about the Randy Johnson one. Question is Ken Griffey Jr. a greater baseball player than Rory McIlroy is a golfer?
Yes. Yes.
I don't
know.
Wrong?
Now that he's got the Grand Slam.
Got the career Grand Slam. Griffey never won a championship.
He's one of two guys to have a career Grand Slam, right?
Six.
Or excuse me, one of two guys to win it at the Masters. He's the second guy to complete it at the Masters. Ugh.
Griffey
never won the whole
I'm going Griffey
thing.
because I do not like Rory McIlroy at all. I never have.
Just out of substance, you're going.
I never have.
I'm going to say, here's the real question, though. What's harder? Hitting 300 in the major leagues or winning a...
Hitting 300?
Did he hit 300? What was Griffey's?
He had to hit 300 at some point. Or like just hitting a baseball consistently at the major league level or winning...
284.
Okay, 284. How many home runs did he end up hitting?
He hit...
He's not part of the 700 club, is he?
No.
Hit a bunch.
630.
So what's harder? Consistently hitting a baseball, like to get hits in the major league level, or winning a major in golf? Or just what's harder in general? The highest level of baseball, the highest level of golf? It's a great question. One ball's moving, the other one's not. But the one that's not moving is really little. Look, at the end of the day, I wonder how good of a golfer Ken Griffey Jr. is. Like, if you think his swing was smooth in
I'm sure he doesn't
baseball,
suck.
I want to see him off the tee. Because have you seen Mike Trout at Topgolf hit that ball with the driver? Dog. I don't know what he can do with the other clubs. I've got no idea. But professional baseball players hitting golf balls is insane.
A charity tournament with Ryan Howard, another lefty.
I bet he could
blast off every hole, just lefty.
Smash.
Well, Rory may have won the Masters, but I think the biggest winner overall when it comes to the Masters was David and myself. And David ended up winning. So if you don't know, if you're just finding out, we made a bet going into the Masters weekend where you got to pick 4 golfers. Any 2 you want, doesn't matter the odds. One golfer with 5,000 odds or over, or one golfer with 10,000 odds and over. And we combined the scores that they had together collectively, whether you made the cut or didn't. And the winner, the 2 guys who don't win, pays for a round of that gentleman's golf. But the loser has to do what we call the driving range challenge. Basically what that is you got to put on protection, and we're not going to give away exactly what the protection is because we're going to film this and it's going to be hilarious. And you have to go on a driving range and do a task while we hit balls at you for a certain amount of time or till that task is completed. So let's go ahead and throw up the results.
Just y'all 2, right? Just y'all 2 hitting balls.
Yeah, we'll go with that for now.
That's the rule.
Let's go ahead and throw the graphic up here. Let's see how everybody did. Okay, so Cone, congratulations, dude. 8 under. Pretty sporty,
No,
bud.
I mean, no thanks to Will Zalatoris. 8 over.
Yeah, if he would have just shot even, you would have destroyed all of us. So tell, again, your 4 golfers combined to go 8 under. You did pick Rory McIlroy.
I did.
You did pick Morikawa.
Which I wasn't feeling good about Rory after round 1. 2 double bogeys in the last 3 holes, but look at him. He bounced back strong, picked Morikawa, had Daniel Berger.
Yeah, Berger came through. Those are the ones that had come through. So I finished 2 under. Minwoo Lee, the Aussie Asian, whatever, just absolutely cooked me. Took away all my chances. Ended up finishing 6 over. Sam Burns, not horrible, but at the end of the day, it's about those guys at the top. Schauffele came back, had a good last 3 rounds, and then Scheffler obviously handled business. So finished at 2 under, and then Blaine.
Damn it!
Even. And if Cambo doesn't fall apart the last day, I probably lose. So now guess what, bud? Your time is now.
That Masters sucked. It sucked.
You thought it sucked?
It sucked. It sucked. 1, don't like Rory. 2, Rory didn't win it. It didn't feel like Rory went out and won it. I feel like he just didn't lose it. No, I mean, you had 4 doubles. No one has ever won the Masters with 4 double bogeys. And somehow this guy, because Bryson DeChambeau didn't just let me down. He let America down.
You did have Ireland versus England.
America.
Final, which has been like going on for thousands.
They said the champions dinner next year was going to be bland either way.
That's true.
Now we got to watch them. Now I have to watch everybody eat baked potatoes with tuna and beans.
I don't think that's what they do.
That's what they eat.
Bangers and mash
baked potatoes with tuna on it and beans and cheese.
Where did you learn that?
That's what they eat in Ireland?
That's what they eat in Ireland.
I'm going to
drink and eat that.
I'm going to guess there'll probably be some Irish stew, which is really, really big over there. Outside of that, I mean, there's going to be potatoes, bud. Potatoes, that's the Idaho of countries, all right, when it comes to potatoes at the end of the day. So we're going to have some more updates on when this driving range challenge is going to take place.
Smith,
and it will take place. If it's the last thing
I heard it's not taking place.
No, it's definitely going to take place. So we're going to
I've heard.
We're going to have more details. But before we go, Cone, you wanted to bring something up.
Yeah, my offensive coordinator at the University of Michigan, Coach Mike DeBoer, passed away yesterday at the age of 69. He was a great man. He was a great coach, a fair coach. So I just wanted to say rest in peace to Coach Mike DeBoer.
Yeah, and on that note, Bill, Brother Oliver, passed away too. Coached at Auburn and Alabama. Guy my dad used to talk about all the time. He passed away as well. So our condolences obviously go out to the families of both. And man, it's tough. But again, what a life lived. I mean, imagine that was the coolest thing about coaching is that you affect so many people's lives like down the road. I mean, I still talk to guys who coached me and I still talk to players that I coach. So it's a great gig. But at the end of the day, rest in peace to those guys. And thank you all for joining us on the Wednesday edition of Crain & Company. We have a great interview coming out tomorrow with Jim Cavall from the Athletes Organization and from Influencer that gives you a real deep dive into what's going on with NIL, the Nico situation. This guy is at the forefront of it. So if you want a in-depth analysis of what's really going on with name, image, and likeness in college sports and the direction this is heading, you do not want to miss Locker Room Talk tomorrow. It's 40 minutes of, I don't know if there's a better NIL conversation out there right now, so we appreciate Jim coming on as well, so make sure and check that out. Make sure you keep supporting the channel. We appreciate it. And like the chances of me not enjoying watching my brother get hit with driving range balls at an alarming rate.
I don't know if we're even doing that.
We're going. Oh, we're doing it. Going. Gone. Wow, how about that catch?
Nice.